you
Yes.
know.
We got our intro.
Hey, upstairs.
I was planning on that too. I'm like, dang it, she's already in there, and then you went to get your glasses. Now we have our intro.
Do that It's the Erin and Sherry show.
It's spooky month.
It's going to be the Sherry show next month because, yeah, after that jump scare, getting rid of Erin.
Dang it. I was taking a chance messing with Sherry, so I understand.
She's the comic relief. I can't.
I think we're both the comic relief. That's funny.
Okay. Yeah, spooky, scary horror. Actually, yeah, we're not doing a whole lot of them. More horror.
More horror.
Not really comedy horror, although, you know, with the exception of that one down there, which we're totally going to watch. We've decided, okay, I'm going to start at the bottom. We talked once about ghost stories.
Yes.
And how it didn't really do well in Japan, and when they brought it over here, and they told the voice actors, you know what, do whatever you want with it. You can take your liberties, right, whatever. Oh, they did. So it's basically the first abridged. Although they didn't call it abridged at that time because there was no such thing.
It was the English dub. It was actually the show.
But it was,
we just watched a couple minutes of it, just like a couple scenes, and we were rolling. Oh, that was funny. We want to watch all of it.
Yeah, so...
If you like abridged, you would love this because it's
so
supposed to be scary, but it's really
it's not. Yeah, so we've decided what we really ought to do is we should do what did you call it?
Reaction. A reaction video.
Yeah, Sherry and Erin watches ghost stories. And it's going to be R-rated.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Some of the stuff they were saying was probably not appropriate for everybody.
Yeah, definitely not. Like I said, it's abridged. But if we start at the top, I guess. I didn't have these in any particular order.
No, we'll just go wherever.
All right, School Life you've never watched.
No.
And I can't remember whether I talked about this or not before.
I don't think so.
Okay, School Life. Cool. Interesting. Okay, so zombie apocalypse happens, and we have these kids that did not get attacked by zombies, that haven't gotten the disease yet, stuck at school. And one of the girls, cute little Ollie, just, you know, she kind of doesn't want to believe it.
Oh, I see.
And they all play around along with her.
Well, that's messed up.
Yeah.
That's kind of messed up.
She thinks that they're part of the School Live Club.
Okay.
That they live at school. We don't go home. We live at school.
Oh my goodness.
And we sleep here and we eat here. It's all part of the club. And they all let her have her little fantasy.
Oh my goodness.
And but you don't really know what's going on at the beginning, so I just blew it for you.
Spoiler.
It's pretty early on that you kind of get the point. But,
right.
Yeah. And it gets a little down and dirty and creepy, and as it reveals more and more of the backstory.
That does sound like a good one.
It's actually pretty good. So.
Well, that's kind of messed up right off the bat, so I'm into it.
I live at school and I never go home, and we're all part of a club.
Woo!
Okay, so we'll go straight there to Hellsing, Hellsing, but there's also Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah.
So, which one did you watch?
Both.
Which one did you like better?
That's hard. I have Hellsing, the original Hellsing seasons on DVD, so I feel like I've watched those more just because I have them on DVD, but I feel like I could really watch either of them.
Okay. I've heard some people say, oh, Hellsing is so much better.
Yeah, I feel like most people like Ultimate better, but
I've only seen Hellsing Ultimate.
Just give me
and we're talking, you know, like a couple of episodes.
Right.
So
give me a Alucard any day. I don't care if it's Hellsing Ultimate or regular. I'm fine with it. You're good.
Okay, so go ahead, tell us a little bit about Hellsing.
So, Hellsing's an older anime, and it takes the Spanish Inquisition, right? That's when it takes place. So, Alucard, which is Dracula backwards, is a tool for the Hellsing Corporation who fights vampires. He's a vampire who fights vampires, and he's just like very dark and demonic. And this one, her name is Ceres Victoria, and she's a cop, and she becomes a vampire as well, almost. and they fight other vampires together.
But,
Like the way that it's set up.
teaching her the ropes.
Yeah. So she has to obey his commands because he is her superior vampire, I guess, like the chain of vampirism. It's like a pyramid scheme. You start as a vampire, and then they make vampires, and then you're at the top.
Okay, well, the one I watched, he didn't make her on purpose.
No, it was an accident.
She was in the way, and the only way to kill the other vampires, he had to shoot
Go through her, yeah.
Which means that she would die unless
right.
And it wasn't her fault that the vampire grabbed her to be a shield.
But he sounds like he's a wicked character, but he's a good character. You know what I mean? Like
you're not so sure.
You play around with those roles, like vampire bad, priest good, and there's kind of an evil priest and a good vampire in this one. Yeah, but he's not romanticized at all. He's still pretty wicked.
He's still an asshole.
Yeah, and he's vicious.
Good or bad.
Yes.
And trying to remember who was the other, like Elle from Death Note, not Elle, the original Kira. Because originally you think, oh, he's doing a good thing.
Maybe not.
So you know,
yeah.
It's like there's some boundaries that we cross, and
yeah, it's a good anime though.
Dry,
but it's a really good one. I recommend it.
And I don't know whether in the original they did all the cussing with that guy. The one guy.
Yeah.
He's the same character.
He cusses a lot, and there's a lot of vulgar content in it.
Oh, it was just.
I remember watching it.
It was a 5-minute tirade.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we're
even in Japanese, it's just at the bottom. You just yell.
We should just watch it in Japanese. Yeah. We can learn to cuss in Japanese fluently. Learn this line.
There we go. All right, Corpse Party. Go ahead.
I know nothing about Corpse Party.
I don't know anything about Corpse Party either.
So one of these days, this is some of the stuff that we're going to watch. One of these days I'll watch Corpse Party. Corpse Party apparently was from the game Corpse Party.
Okay.
And I guess, I don't know, it became very, very popular 6-7 years ago.
Okay, put it on the list, I guess.
So I want to take a look at it. We need Chris here.
Yeah, where's Chris at? We don't have Chris in this episode. Chris is at home cringing right now. Chris,
what's the Corpse Party all about? So I don't know much about Corpse Party, but I guess it was a really big thing for a while. And like I said, eventually it was one of those animes that came from the game instead of. And in that same vein, and one I can talk about, Castlevania.
Yes.
Same thing. Came from a game to begin with.
Castlevania is on our list as well, and Castlevania is a Netflix, and it is so good.
Yeah, and I just finished watching
my goodness. Every time a new season comes out, I watch the previous seasons and then watch the new one. So when the next season comes out, there's 3. You've watched all 3.
Okay, I watched all 3.
So then the 4th one's going to be coming out soon. I think it's next year.
But it only had like 3 in the first season.
Yeah, so it's easy to watch it up again.
It wasn't like...
And that's actually an anime that I recommend to watch in English.
Yeah, definitely.
You have Richard Armitage, who plays Trevor Belmont, who plays Thorin Oakenshield in the Hobbit movies, and then there's all these big name voice actors in it. It's really cool. It's a good anime. It's gory as heck, like real gory and messed up, but it's a good anime. It's Halloween.
I think it was one of those ones where we had to watch Eureka while we were eating, and then we would switch over to Castlevania.
There you go. Yes.
I wasn't going to watch Castle. It is
just watching demons explode and.
Okay, so and I was just telling you when I finished it, I was not happy with the end. But a lot like horror movies and stuff, sometimes it may end, where they've made it out alive, whatever. But you're not happy. It was still a very trying experience. So you're still kind of left. Yeah, well, you're still left with some trauma.
For sure.
And I kind of felt like that with Castlevania. It was like, that's not how I wanted it.
Everybody made it out, but everybody is really unhappy.
They're really wrecked.
Yeah.
Emotionally, physically,
and
especially emotionally. It was just one of those. They had some triggers in there I wasn't real happy with.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Alucard.
Oh. Yeah.
So and then
that was messed up.
Well, and Chris is telling me because when they, I can't show it. Spoiler alert. Because they show Dracula in the Vale, reunited with his wife. And, oh God, no! We've got one freaking episode left. They're not bringing him back.
No.
And Chris is trying to tell me, it's like, okay, so if you know anything about the game, Dracula's in every version of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a different Belmont
Oh,
in
gotcha.
every version of the game. So you'll get to know a different Belmont.
It's a good one though. All right, let's go to the next one.
Good.
Where are we going next? Another?
Okay, so now, let's see, we did School-Wide Helsing Corpse Party, and then I skipped over to Castlevania. So yeah, we can talk about another.
This is on my queue to watch on Crunchy, but
Watch it.
have you watched it?
Yes, we just finished it not too long ago.
Okay.
And another is different than anything. It's not. It's a new storyline. It's something. It's a cursed school. It's actually a cursed class.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And
Remember that
so the
vaguely.
main character basically has moved to town because his parents had to go for business somewhere else, so he went to go live with his grandmother and his grandfather, and so he has to start in a new school, and apparently anyone in class 3, it's a cursed class, and not everyone, not every time, not every year does the curse happen, but when the curse does happen, there's no stopping it, except they did find a way, and then it did at the end, and it's like, people communicate, seriously, talk to one another. Everything that went wrong in there is because no one would talk.
Oh.
No one would fill people in on things, no. But on the other part, that was part of the curse, because somebody, you would see in another place, when the person was, had actually said more things, but you don't get to remember it.
Oh.
And this is part of the curse, is that you
Wacky.
don't
So
get
it's like
to
a real
remember-
mental thing.
Yeah, you don't get to remember the information.
That's crazy.
Oh no, it's murder and mayhem and,
Nice.
and death and destruction. Okay, so think, what's the one with the planes of the kids that go on the trip, they don't die, so they all die later.
Oh, Final Destination.
Yeah, Final Destination.
Yeah.
It's sort of a Final Destination. It's sort of,
Oh.
but well, what I'm saying is that it's a curse,
Mhm.
and you just don't know who it's going to happen to,
Oh, wow.
who's next,
That
and
sounds
what's
good.
happening. It could be a family member, and it could be the class member.
Oh wow. Oh.
But there's this whole background, and like I said, the records even get changed
Oh wow.
after it's happened. So
That's crazy.
you can't tell. It's really good though, very very good. Definitely watch it.
For sure.
Yeah, and we can go from there to Death Note, which
That's classic.
it is classic.
It's
isn't it?
classic.
I have never actually finished it, and I've wanted to.
Oh really? It
And
took me a. So the first time I watched
Chris has
it.
watched the whole thing,
Yeah.
so getting him
Yeah.
to rewatch the whole beginning thing so that I can get to this was like,
Yeah, I've watched. So the first time I watched Death Note, I got to a very large event in the middle, and I'm not gonna spoil it. Although most of you probably have watched Death Note, no. And I'm like, no, can't watch it anymore. Gave up, didn't watch it, and then I picked it back up and finished it. And I really like Death Note. I have a Ryu, the Shinigami. I have
Yeah.
a figurine of him, and I like Death Note a lot. But part of me is so disappointed with some of the choices they made, but I understand why. It's a good thing. It's a good mental, moral battle. But I don't like it. The L died.
see, and then you blew it
I
anyway.
know.
Spoiler alert. Death Note, yeah, what I watched of it, I really enjoy. I do want to watch the rest of it,
Mhm.
and it does go into dark places, and it does kind of mess with your mental state. in
Yeah, like
terms
what
of-
do you actually believe in, or
You think you know, and then
Mhm.
you gotta change that. And
Mhm.
it's like, well, I'm confused.
I'm confused.
It's a confusing dilemma, and they do it really well.
Right.
So
Very
Alright.
Nicky.
we talked about, well, again, that's Future Diaries.
Mhm.
So we've talked about that
Yep.
before as well. Future Diaries with the 12 kids who get diaries, and then, but yeah, it's on there. And so we can skip straight over to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 1.
Okay,
only.
I have a question about this.
Part
I
one
saw
only.
this on the list and I'm like, what? So I've not watched all of JoJo's. The only time I've watched JoJo's was when we had Anime Club in person. We miss you. Anime Club in person. But Chris was like, we gotta watch JoJo's, and everyone's like, let's watch it. And I watched we watched the first 2 episodes, I think. How the heck is this horror, supernatural? Or maybe it's the
Vampire.
Oh.
Vampire.
Okay.
ripping people to shreds.
Yep. Okay. That's it. My brain just was like, well, that's fine.
And understand he's the. Did you even get to the part with the dog?
What happened? Did someone kill a dog? Did someone hurt a dog?
Spoiler
Did
alert.
someone hurt a dog?
He kills Jojo's dog.
Oh yeah, we did get
Puts
to that
him in
point.
the freaking
I think
oven.
I just tucked that far away in the
Yeah,
back of my
see?
mind, so I wouldn't
So
think
this
about
guy
it.
is evil incarnate to begin with.
Yeah, he's kind of crazy.
and
Oh, I
then-
remember. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then he gets the mask that.
I have
creates
to
him-
watch
makes him
more of
into a
JoJo's.
vampire.
Everybody, when I say I've never watched JoJo's.
And we do say that it's part one only because once they get past that, it becomes more just a supernatural thing.
Like a wacky, spacey.
And it can get wacky and spacey. They do a lot of there's comedy and then there's always this, because the vampire shows up again in part 3. So it's like part 1 vampire, part 2 Dio is like every other one is a Dio. But they don't get as horror related in terms of he's still evil character. It's like we're fighting the same bad guy, but the first one is really like this whole curse for the family.
Gotcha, like more gothic, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Castlevania? Got Castlevania.
Tokyo Ghoul.
We've talked about
Tokyo Ghoul.
We love Tokyo Ghoul. It's so good. Someone was wearing a face mask, the other day, and they had the Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Kaneki's mask on it.
Austin.
Oh yeah, that was Austin. Shout out to Austin.
Yeah, we have talked about it before, but the psychological changes that go through in the character are just.
I love watching animes where characters grow up.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's I'm getting chilly bumps.
Me too. That's funny. I was just.
Yeah, but you start at the beginning of it, and like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Blood,
You're
gore,
just like
ripping, and it's almost like they're trying to desensitize you.
Yeah.
And then when it's happening to such a nice character, and you know how good-hearted he is,
and he goes through that mental break.
You're like, can I save you from this? And he saves himself. So yeah, I don't know. Okay. Devilman Crybaby, we have talked about, and I'm not really into horror, but we watched all of these.
Right.
Okay, and we talked about before, Devilman Crybaby, baby, just awesome, weird. Go ahead, you guys do.
Here's the entire synopsis of Paranoia Agent. A detective follows mysterious attacks in Tokyo. That's it. That's all Google gives me.
A mysterious what?
A detective follows mysterious attacks in Tokyo. That's all it says on Google.
Sure, I don't know either. Okay, so anyway, we don't know anything about it. Maybe you guys know, and you can write in and tell us about it. Okay, so Dead Man
A
Wonderland.
serial assailant named Will Slugger. So it's a little serial killery. That looks creepy. Ooh. Psychological thriller and satire. Interesting. Yeah, Wikipedia doesn't give too much about it. I think this show is kind of a weird. If it's a satire, then it probably has some weird themes in it that make you think.
It's probably why I got on the list, because it's not.
Well, I mean,
It's
it's a
not
serial
trope.
killer kid too.
It's not so much trope, and then
Yeah.
and one of the things that we're doing with there might be a lot of trope from these, but they were the beginning. They were the start.
Yeah.
And most of these all have some serious content to them.
Okay,
So
Dead Man Wonderland. I watched Dead Man Wonderland. I started watching Dead Man Wonderland on my computer, and I went and bought the DVDs because I like it so much. It is messed up. So like this kid, it starts out the first episode, an entire classroom of kids gets murdered. Just straight up like exploded murdered. Not just like slaughtered, but like every kid explodes. Yeah, go for it. Snack break. But so
you made me hungry.
and so they think that this
All right. Okay.
this
so
kid gets blamed for it even though he didn't do it, and he gets sent to jail. And jail in this world is this funhouse, Dead Man Wonderland, where they basically put these people through games where they will die, most definitely die, and one person who makes it out gets a piece of candy. Yep, gets a piece of candy. And
I win.
It kind of has like a little dangly ending to it that doesn't really, like typical anime doesn't necessarily end definitely. At least it didn't for me. And there's all these other parts of it, The kid who got sent in there is kind of special in one way because he has these powers where he can like fight with his blood. And there's other characters who can do that, and they have them fighting death matches all the time. It's a messed up anime, and it's really good. If you like stuff that's just like unnecessarily messed up, then you'll like Deadly Wonderland. It's a quick anime too, so the stomach getting
Well,
one way.
like I said, I think Chris has already watched all of it, but we haven't stopped this. Since I put the kibosh on watching any more horror movies during this month, I told him we would watch
horror anime. I'm not committing to 2 hours of horror. I'm going to commit to 12 episodes of horror.
I just do better. When it's an anime, I know it's not real.
I love it.
Yeah, the really horror movies, with the more realistic looking it is.
Yeah, the more it gets in your head.
I don't like sleeping with the light on, but I will.
I love it.
So, okay, Promised Neverland. So I haven't finished, I haven't kept up with it since we went to...
I didn't know that this was like horror.
Since we lost Funimation.
Oh, sad.
R.I.P.
Yeah, what's it about?
Oh, okay, you don't know. So, oh God. Promised Neverland, and it looks so sweet.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised, because I know that I can
nice,
think of the
sweet-looking kids, and in this beautiful garden, and nice. Okay, so anyway, they're in a house. It's basically orphans.
Okay.
Like they're in an orphanage, and they have this mother type figure that takes care of them. She's the head of the household. She's raising them. They're her kids.
Got you.
Okay. And every once in a while, somebody gets adopted.
Oh, that's nice.
And then they have to all say goodbye to them, and she walks them out to the gate. And they're all sad that they're not going to see them. They don't come back and visit, but,
Why is this a horror anime?
so it is kind of sad when they leave.
Oh, God.
But we're all happy that they're now going to be with real parents and a real family. Okay, so one of them ends up having to go, gets adopted, and they left their teddy bear or something. And they were like, oh, it's a little... No, they want their teddy bear. And so a couple of the kids decided they were going to go out to the gate to reunite her with the teddy bear so she could take it with them and find out what really happens to the kids. Basically, there are these alien creature, beast, whatever, that have taken over the earth, and they eat people. And this orphanage is a farm.
Oh!
For tasty little...
I just got goosebumps. Ugh.
Yeah,
that's freaky.
Tasty little young meat.
I think I'm gonna watch an episode of this tonight.
Yeah, young meat. And
that's crazy.
So anyway, I kind of lost. I don't want to say I lost interest. I could continue watching it, but the whole storyline just kind of bothered me with the kids.
Right.
Having to struggle through all this.
That's crazy. That's like a new kind of scary. Junji Ito collection?
Yeah, you were supposed to watch that.
I didn't.
Okay, so I've heard a lot about it here in the last month.
Is this where every episode's a different story?
Oh. Here's what I do know. Junji Ito is a classic horror anime writer.
Okay.
And when you look up, and if you put a classic anime horror writer, he's going to be #1 on the list. Yeah, they
turned it into his manga
into a collection,
into an
anime, and Crunchyroll is premiering it this month. They're also you can go read the manga on Crunchyroll this month.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is creepy. So, it looks kind of like, to describe the art style, it looks like you've seen Mob Psycho?
Oh yeah.
It's like Mob Psycho mixed with Attack on Titan.
Yeah. Hey.
Heck of a combination.
I think if you would put it together with, say, H.P. Lovecraft. So he would be like the H.P. Lovecraft of Japanese
Japan,
manga. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I just looked up some pictures on Google Images. I'm like,
It's
it literally looks like Attack on Titan mixed with Mob Psycho.
Unique and creepy and
Yeah.
so anyway, so he's one of the and like I said, I put it on here because it was one of the I never heard of this. But so I kind of just threw it out there because like I said, there's a lot to talk about right now. Crunchyroll has it on, they turn it into a collection.
Right.
So if you happen to have Crunchyroll, then feel free to check out some classic.
Enjoy this month.
So we're doing, we're done. We were trying to do the shortest, keep it a little shorter.
We definitely like to talk about anime.
I know. We're gonna watch Ghost Stories, and we're gonna show you our reaction to it.
It's already hilarious.
And she's gonna do the loot. Next month we are doing food. It's not all about anime. Otaku is not all about anime.
No,
as you can tell from the gifts, because everybody wants the loot. So we're gonna do food, snacks next month.
Yes.
And so you can tune in and watch us eat.
And then
No, we're gonna try out some stuff. She's gonna do those rice ball roulette again, which I didn't get to attend the last time. So we're gonna see Sherry's reaction to each one of them this week. We'll try out every other one. We'll just spin the thing.
yeah, I love it.
We'll do that. We'll try that out next time.
Make little ones for
Yeah.
us.
And instead of a loot crate, what we're gonna do is we have one like prize that we'll give away with some Japanese snacks, and then the others that are watching can get a snack. So
We're not gonna have
still
anything
get a snack.
gross.
We'll, you know, Pocky. We'll have Pocky. We'll have marble pop.
If you came to
stuff like
our
that.
anime club when we did snacks,
Yeah, we're
there
not
was some
having-
gross.
We're not having the
snacks.
gross fermented grape stuff.
Gross.
Smelly.
You open some of those packages and you're like,
Ugh.
close that, please.
Yeah, we're gonna do different stuff. One of them, I told her she needs to get bean paste because I keep hearing about bean paste all the time, and they have like donut things with bean paste. And it's like,
Yeah.
why would you want to do that?
But everybody loves it, so I'm gonna try bean paste too.
They didn't have the sugar. That's where their sugar came from. Their sweetness came from bean paste, just like we did sugar beets before we had sugar cane.
Interesting.
And so yeah, and I want to see what it's like.
So this
All right,
box
Luke.
is a mishmash.
Mishmash of some stuff we had from, some of our crates were smaller than other crates and some were larger. So we had a mishmash of some extra things, and we had some promotional items that we had from earlier. So
Sailor
number one,
Uranus. It says Pretty Guardian Sailor.
Pretty Guardian Sailor Uranus. And so this is a nice figurine.
Yeah, and it has like a little
We're talking
background
three-ish.
shot.
Cute, and it's got a background stand that you can do on it. So, okay, this is not that we're gonna
give away.
a pair of socks.
Yes, you get to pick your pair of socks.
Pick the one you want. Sakura, Kakashi, and that's what's his name?
I don't watch Naruto.
Oh, really?
I know everybody's
Sasuke.
like.
Come on, everybody knows Sasuke. And then we have another Naruto. Or do we have? I'm just wondering if one's Naruto and one's his Naruto with Sage Mode or something. But Kakashi and Sasuke and Sakura. So anyway, you get to pick out the choice of the sock you want. And speaking of JoJo's,
This is a size medium,
size medium.
but we have a Jojo shirt. It has the whole gang on it. It says JoJo's Bizarre
Which
Adventure.
one is this? This would be. Okay, there's Dio. I think this is from season 1 then.
Season 1.
Season 1 JoJo. JoJo and Dio.
I love it. I need to watch JoJo's.
It's an acquired taste.
I can
And like
see
I said,
that.
the artwork and stuff, and after a while you just get into the characters.
See, everybody that I've talked to, even people who I wouldn't think like JoJo's, like JoJo's. So, all right, that's what we have for the loot crate.
And then, like I said, next month we're going to do food, so there will be a food prize. And then anyone who didn't win will still get some kind of a treat prize or something.
Right. So we have some goodies set
yeah.
aside for the main prize. So.
And then we'll
Actually,
see where
some
we
stuff
go.
from the loot crate
Right,
that we
we'll
got.
see where we go from December on. But we definitely wanted to do food for November.
For sure. Sherry already made the advertisements in September.
Advertisements?
She made the advertisements for November
I
in
sent her
September. 'Cause
links.
she was so. I'm like, what about October? And we're like, oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to it. Sherry's like, oh, I'm ready for food.
Oh, I sent her links for food dishes.
Ramen
and
and
Try
all
this
this
one.
stuff.
Remember that one I sent you that looked really, really good? You gotta try that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, man. We're gonna eat. We're gonna
We're
sit
gonna
here and
eat. Love it. Okay.
So, that's it.
That's
okay,
it.
enjoy. Bye.